Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi. Hey besties. I'm scared because I saw a spider in here yesterday that was a really big spider, and it was scarier than the video I watched, and now I'm terrified to be in this room, and I really want to go into my bedroom and shut the door. But I love you guys, so I thought we'd do another video. Today. So I just got done with dialysis, so today we're gonna watch 5 horrifying live streams from Tragedy Tales, and I go live on TikTok a lot, but I've only had a meltdown once or twice, but I've never had something serious happen, fortunately. So let's see what this is all about. Let's get to it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's just get to the video. Let's go. I just feel like there's a spider around here somewhere. Ugh.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but one of the biggest draws of watching live streams is the fact that everything's unfolding in real time. Sure, you can watch the replay the next day, but it's never quite the same, is it? The thrill of witnessing events live alongside viewers.
To be honest, I don't watch a lot of live streams. I don't watch, especially video gaming live streams, because I don't play video games.
The nature of being live streams can capture moments.
I play DDR.
Pure adrenaline and joy.
I'm a champ. I'm an expert at DDR. Hell yeah.
And tragedy. From the woman in China who drank 2 liters of wine on stream to the totally avoidable CrossFit Games incident, I'm Ryan from Tragedy Tales, and today we're going to explore 5 more examples of horrifying live streams that will leave you feeling shook. So without any further ado, let's get right into it.
Let's do it. Let's go. Keep looking for the fucking spider.
Now, this horrifying live stream unfolded in the bustling metropolis of Bangkok, Thailand.
Oh, I want to go to Thailand so bad. My aunt's from Thailand.
Nguyen Pimporn and her husband.
She's
Nguyen
beautiful.
worked in the local area, but her main passion and her hobby was on social media. She'd garnered a small following going by the name of Teacher One, and on her various social media feeds, she'd mostly post pictures and videos of what looked like to me a pyramid scheme. Regardless, I'm not going to judge anyone.
An MLM.
And amongst these pyramid scheme posts, she'd post photos of her meals and then post videos.
Eggnog's
about
going
how
crazy.
Occasionally,
ooh, those
to
look
treat
good.
her viewers, Nguyen would go live on Facebook and cook dinner for her and her husband, live streaming to all her friends and fans.
Okay.
She sounds like a lovely person. However,
she does.
On May the 25th, 2021, sadly, Nguyen would go live for the very last time.
Aww.
That day was like any other. She began her live stream in her kitchen, standing at her stove as she usually did.
It's my cat. Come here, I'm scared. Hold
The
me.
cursed live stream showed her adding ingredients to the pan, stirring and smiling. The stream goes on for a while, when Nguyen speaking to the camera and joking. Sadly, I can't make out any of it because I don't speak the language. Of course, this stream goes on without faults. She's cooking, she's having fun.
Eggie, stop knocking my crystals over, bro.
Until it's not. Just a few minutes into the stream, as Nguyen was stirring the food, suddenly her face goes pale.
She just caught a fly out of the air. My cat did.
Something goes pop, and she suddenly stops. It's clear to see that something was deadly wrong. Within the space of just a few seconds, all captured on stream, Nguyen went pale as a ghost, and just like that, fell unconscious, falling face forward towards the hot stove.
Oh my god. That's horrible.
Back with the stove, Nguyen collapsed backwards onto the ground, all our viewers watched in shock. Still live, Nguyen could be seen off camera, shaking and convulsing. It's an absolutely horrible watch that I don't recommend you go seek out.
Absolutely terrible.
But after a few minutes, her husband enters from the other room and quickly notices his wife on the floor. He dragged her out of the kitchen and out of frame and frantically dialed for an ambulance.
What happened?
While emergency teams arrived swiftly, nothing could be done to save her life. She died on the way to the hospital.
That's sad.
After an autopsy, it was revealed that Nguyen had an enlarged heart and that she had suffered a small heart attack on stream.
Oh my
The
God.
official cause of death was a heart attack caused by a blood clot in one of her ventricles.
That's a shame.
Absolutely
I've had a
tragic.
blood clot in my
And
lung
for this to
before.
happen
It is
on live,
serious
what are the
business.
chances? This entry is a prime example of why I say live life to the fullest.
And make
Because this
sure
could be
you
any one of us.
keep up with your
Some people say
doctor.
that we're each given a finite number of heartbeats, and once we use them up,
I'm always kind of scared that's going to happen to me because I go live so much and very
clear.
clearly I am not in the best of health,
But neither one of us can see how much time is left.
I hope that doesn't ever happen.
Talking about living life,
I swear to God, you guys.
it's a phrase that, while sounds inspiring, only goes so far. Yes, go crazy, have fun, live your life, but never lose sight of responsibility.
I mean, I'm a storm chaser. I work in a
With that in
prison.
mind,
Like, I
this
get the
story is a
adrenaline, but
chilling
like, I'm
example
also like, I
of
hate
exactly
roller
what happened
coasters.
on
I'm
that
pretty
coast.
harm avoidant, to be honest.
This truly
I won't go
haunted entry
skydiving.
Begins in late 2017 in Espoo, Finland.
I'm scared of
Yeah,
heights.
Unfortunately, I was unable to find the exact date that this stream occurred, but the events that followed are certainly unforgettable, and definitely one that we can all learn from. That fateful day, a Periscope stream began.
She's gorgeous.
Showing what looked like an ordinary night between a man and a woman. If you're not familiar, Periscope was a Twitter-owned live streaming
I remember
platform that shut down in
Periscope.
March of 2021.
There was a storm chaser who got
also one
stabbed
of the
by
first ones
a
shut
guy
down.
he stopped to
The
help,
stream in
and it was
question,
all on
from what I can
Periscope.
tell, started at midnight.
Literally the
On the
nicest
replay,
chaser
you can see a
ever.
woman identified as Mia Marie and what looked to be her boyfriend. On the stream, Mia and her boyfriend were drinking and smoking. and
She
talking
is
casually
so
to the viewers,
pretty.
enjoying what they thought to be a harmless night in. You can see, despite it being around midnight, it's actually clearly daylight. Now, this is
Yeah,
because
they're
in southern
pretty far
Finland,
north.
the sun actually barely sets.
I remember in
Some places
Ireland,
see
like the
20
sun would
hours
go
of
down at
sunlight,
like 10
and
p.m.
other
in the
places,
summer.
Darkness never settles, leading to 24 hours of sunlight a day. All on stream. After 2 hours
I'd
of
have a
heavy
rough
drinking
time
and
with that.
smoking, the pair decided to make a decision that would cost them dearly. At around 2 a.m., the pair decided to take a drive in the man's Audi. At approximately 2:04 a.m., Mia announced on the stream that they were going in the Audi on a little trip.
I want
The
an
stream
Audi.
followed, showing Mia leaving the house and getting into the back of the man's car.
Your Audi. Vähän matkailee.
Moments later, they were on the road, with the man driving like he was on a racetrack, recklessly exceeding the speed limit. Nervously, on stream, Mia laughed and smiled.
Does she know him,
and told the
or?
man not to be crazy. She asked him to slow down, but her words fell on deaf ears. And this is when they approached
Scary.
a slight bend in the road around a mile away from the house. Literally 2 minutes after setting off, at almost 2:06 a.m., the unthinkable occurred. The stream captured what was obviously a severe crash. The frame spins and spins like a
No.
washing machine, followed by a loud crashing, before it suddenly cuts to black, leaving viewers that were interacting and watching in complete shock.
Oh, that's sad. That poor girl. Why are men, bro? Like,
On stream, you can hear the man's chilling final words in response to being told to slow down. He said, "Well, there's no problem. I'll just use the handbrake. Look." It was a small mercy, however, that the stream
like the
cut out when
emergency
it did,
brake?
sparing viewers from the worst. The car, travelling at an estimated 65 miles an hour, more than double the speed limit, veered off the road. It barrel
Slow
rolled
down.
through multiple trees, tearing the landscape, folding like a tin can until it finally came to a stop.
Jeez.
The wreck
That's
wasn't found
sad.
until 6 a.m. that morning, when it was discovered by a passenger on a passing bus.
Oh my
When the
God.
police arrived at the scene, it was far too late. It was a bloodbath. Mia and the driver had died
Beautiful
hours ago
girl.
on
It's
impact.
really sad.
The force of the crash was so intense
It
that
tore
even
the
his
car in
seatbelt had
half.
been ripped off. Just think about how
Holy
much force it actually takes for
cow.
your seatbelt to completely rip off. The force of this crash was truly unsurvivable. This tragic event raises
That's
several
crazy.
unsettling questions. Why did any of the viewers intervene? Why weren't the authorities immediately alerted when the pair hinted at their reckless plan? And why did they choose to get drunk and go driving anyway?
There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it.
Mia, intoxicated,
we have Uber, we have
trying
cabs,
to prevent the disaster by
Lyft.
urging the driver to slow down. But the driver ignored her
there's
warnings
no excuse for
and
driving
still
drunk
chose
nowadays.
to drive recklessly, sealing both of their fates. Honestly, it's a miracle that they didn't kill anyone else on the road.
Yeah, that's
All of this
true.
behaviour was extremely selfish, and I know it was early in the morning,
You're
but
putting
what if they'd hit
my
another car
children and other
with a
people's
family
children in
or a
danger
baby
on
in
the
it?
road doing that?
All of this just shouldn't have occurred. This particular case garnered significant media attention, not only because of the truly horrifying crash, but because it played out in front of a live audience. It serves
My
as a
cat's
grim
going
reminder of
crazy.
the responsibilities that come with both
Shut your mouth.
driving and the power of live streaming. The lesson here is clear. Don't drink and drive, and life is precious. The driver had the ultimate responsibility here and failed to heed the warnings, resulting in a tragedy that could have easily been prevented.
Hey.
Now, this abhorrent livestream unfolded in March of 2021, in a small, dimly lit room in China, where a young female streamer known for her
She's
engaging
pretty
and interactive broadcasts on Douyin decided to host a live event that would tragically become her last. The stream in question opens with blasting music in the background. The room was decorated with bright, colourful backdrops designed to attract and hold the attention of her growing audience. With the allure of viewer donations driving her content, behind her sat what she described as a Wheel of Mayhem.
Wheel
a
of
roulette-style
Mayhem?
game that promised both entertainment
That doesn't sound like
and
a good
risk.
thing.
The premise was simple but dangerous. Viewers could donate money to spin the wheel, and whatever it landed on, the streamer was obliged to consume. The wheel was divided into various segments, each segment labelled with a different disgusting food or drink. For example, they had garlic, ginger, mustard,
I like ginger, I like
raw
garlic, I like
eggs,
mustard.
and
Ooh,
most
I like eggs.
dangerously, white wine. Basically, the higher you paid, whatever it landed on, she would have to eat more and more of that. Of course, this brings the potential for high earnings, but of course the potential for risk. Now, I've
Yeah.
already covered a live stream on this channel where a man ate a handful of centipedes and died. Now, that was crazy, but this is
No,
clearly
you see
worse.
how scared I am of some
The bright
spider
colours
that's
on the
probably
wheel,
not here anymore.
along with the playful
Centipede!
atmosphere, masked the inherent danger of the challenge, attracting all ages of viewers. That night, the excitement of the audience was palpable, as each spin
I like
brought
how
a
it just
new
has
wave
some
of
guy in his living
anticipation
room
and
with that
thrill.
like juxtaposed on
However,
the TV.
as the stream progressed, the stakes grew higher and higher. Things quickly got out of hand as the donations reached a significant sum, $13,000, an eye-watering amount that would
That's a
come
lot of
at an
money.
unbearable cost. The
I don't
streamer
think I've
soon
ever
found
had that
herself
much
drinking
money.
not just a
Ever.
glass of wine, not two, but instead a whole bowl full of alcohol, full of 2 litres of
that's
wine.
like a flaming cazuela.
She then proceeded to break an egg into the bowl of wine. Then she
Why?
added a bunch of wasabi, and then she added what looks like a whole uncut sausage. The viewers,
Wine soup.
intoxicated by the thrill of the game, continued to encourage her to drink, oblivious to the deadly consequences that were
Cooking
soon
wine
to
is so
follow.
strong.
Because what the audience didn't know, and perhaps the streamer herself underestimated, was that earlier in the day, the streamer had taken an antibiotic prescribed for a minor infection, known as cephalosporins.
Well, then it makes
This type
it
of
not work.
antibiotic
The
is
alcohol
known
makes
to have
your
severe
antibiotic
interactions
not
with
work.
alcohol, leading to serious and potentially fatal side effects. On stream, as the alcohol coursed through her system, the combination with the medicine
That's really
set
sad.
off a deadly chain reaction. The signs of distress soon became apparent on the live stream, but by then, it was too late. Soon after chugging this bowl of wine, she seems to convulse and turn white. It was clear that something was deadly wrong.
Ooh.
What started as a light-hearted stream was now taking a dangerous turn. Just moments after drinking the bowl, she stood up, convulsing, and fell off camera and rushed off of the live stream. The cheerful room was now eerily silent, save for the concerned messages that were now flooding the chat. But where were they 5 minutes ago when she was chugging a bowl full of wine? Panic began to set in as viewers frantically tried to contact emergency services. sharing the stream across social media in hopes of getting help. But the damage had already been done. The unnamed streamer was rushed to the hospital, but by the time medical personnel arrived, she was pronounced dead. Her cause of death was alcohol poisoning, caused by the reaction of the antibiotic.
Man.
I saw this posted all over social media.
You gotta be careful when you're taking
questions about the ethics of viewer-driven content, the pressures that streamers face to entertain at all costs, and the lack of safeguards in place to protect individuals from such extreme situations, even if the situation is caused by themselves. The platform Douyin, which is basically China's version of TikTok, faced heavy scrutiny for allowing such dangerous content to be broadcast without intervention. The law of quick money and the desire to please an audience led a woman to her untimely death, all in the name of entertainment.
I love you too.
Listen, if y'all are still making coffee the old way, that's fine with me. But let me tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna be
death, all in the name of entertainment. Double checking should be second nature, especially when lives are at stake. A single moment of caution can prevent tragedies and even stop unimaginable heartache. With that in mind, this terrible stream
look at that
unfolded
supercell.
on March the 28th, 2017. What began as a routine chase for veteran storm chasers, 57-year-old Kelly G.
I actually used to chase for the exact same broker that they chased for. This was really sad.
Into a nightmare that played out live for their audience.
Storm Wranglers.
Now, Kelly and Randall were well known in the storm chasing community.
Yeah, they were.
And by storm chasing,
this was a really sad mistake. It reminds us all as storm chasers that we need to obey the traffic laws, pay attention, don't get distracted. This was really a shame. This was a big loss for SPL for sure.
Storm Wranglers, and they had dedicated years to documenting severe weather, with Kelly having almost 10 years experience under his belt.
Which is why, you know, I'm sorry.
Weather patterns,
we just need to be more careful. It's really easy to get complacent out there.
Among his peers. Randall, on the other hand, while experienced,
nice guys,
he relied heavily on Kelly's seasoned expertise. Together, they weren't just chasing storms for the thrill, they were capturing vital footage for educational, research.
They worked for Stormview Live.
Their work that they provided for the Weather Channel provided live streams and video
so they would sell their
that
footage
played
to broadcast networks.
About ongoing severe weather events in real time. However,
I started working with SVL that year, actually.
A tragic, untimely end. On that fateful day, Kelly and
Ryan look at that
tracking
supercell.
a powerful supercell storm near Spur, Texas, all while broadcasting the whole thing live to the Weather Channel's eager audience. The video was also being streamed to Kelly's personal YouTube channel, which still remains up to this day.
Yeah.
The live stream captured it all. The thrill, the danger, showing their relentless pursuit of the storm.
Unfortunately, this is not a new occurrence.
The streaming question goes
That's why
on
we
for
tell
10
people
bit
don't
hours,
go out
and
and try
the storm through
to chase
torrential
storms
rain,
and follow
hoping
us
and
if you don't know what you're
praying
doing.
The
They knew what
stream
they were
you can see
doing,
is
but I'm just
raining
saying, like,
and
people
the
who
skies
have
had darkened.
Eggnog, I
While
swear.
chasing the storm and looking out for the tornado to form, a crucial
little
detail
shit.
was missed. As they sped down Rural Texas Road.
Sorry, my
in
cat
their
just knocked
Chevrolet
my
Suburban,
freaking light over.
Kelly and Randall approached an intersection.
I don't know what
at
her
a high
problem
speed.
is.
In all the chaos of the moment, they failed to see a stop sign at the intersection as they barreled towards it at 70 miles an hour. Before this sign, all on stream, they ran around 4 other stop signs. This was something that the pair reportedly did often. However, for this stop sign, as they raced towards it, a fellow storm chaser and certified storm spotter from Arizona, 25-year-old Corbin Yeager, was driving his Jeep towards the same intersection.
This makes me really sad.
Was carefully tracking the storm, unaware.
Because this is my community, you know. This is.
As the 2 storm chasers sped down that road, all on live,
It just never should have happened.
And collided with Corbin. The stream cuts off just before this happens, but the collision was swift and catastrophic.
Man,
the
that
2
makes
storm chasers collided with Jager's Jeep with
that makes me
devastating
sad.
force. Kelly, who was not wearing a seatbelt, was ejected from the windscreen straight out of the vehicle and died instantly. Randall, who was passenger, was also sadly killed, as was Corbin, who had been driving on his own, minding his own business, with his seatbelt fastened.
Spur, Texas, 3 storm chasers were killed while on their way to cover.
I just hate hearing that, man. I remember when it happened. I just hate hearing it because our community is really close knit, you know.
Storm chasers have been identified as Kelly Williamson, Randall Yarnell and Corbin Yeager. Williamson and Yarnell were part of a team called Storm Wranglers, often seen on the Weather Channel.
According to multiple sources, the windshield of Kelly and Randall's Suburban was reportedly obstructed by various pieces of equipment, including a radar screen, a cell phone, a video camera, and a computer, which may have contributed to the crash, as they might have just not seen.
Not everybody has all that equipment.
Viewers of the live stream were left in shock.
I don't chase
as
all
the
that
feed
equipment
suddenly
just
went
because
dark.
it's so
Then they
distracting.
saw the fatal crash on the news. The aftermath of the crash was profound.
It's
The Weather
really
Channel,
sad.
for whom Kelly and Randall worked as contractors, issued a public statement expressing their deep condolences. However, the tragedy sparked a larger conversation about safety in storm chasing in general. 25-year-old Corbin Yeager, who was driving along minding his own business, was killed just chasing a storm. Yeager's mother filed a $125 million lawsuit against the Weather Channel, accusing the network of gross negligence. The lawsuit alleges that the channel had prioritized sensational content over safety and allowed their reckless driving behavior that ultimately led to the tragedy.
An attorney on the case went over this lawsuit with me. He says, based on evidence, the Weather Channel is responsible for this accident.
4 months before Corbin Yeager was killed, people were texting the Weather Channel and saying these people were dangerous.
Davidson went over the lawsuit, pointing out that the 2 storm chasers involved in the crash, Kelly Williamson and Randall Yarnell, violated basic traffic laws.
The Weather Channel was fully aware of and had been warned by third parties that their storm wranglers engaged in reckless driving before the tragedy. This storm chaser texted the Weather Channel employee, quote, "As far as storm wranglers, I understand the need and fact for, quote, dumbing down, close quote, for the general public. Fact of the matter is that you have 2 very inexperienced, new, and uneducated chasers."
It was also noted that Kelly and Randall, despite their popularity, they both had no formal training and were involved in dangerous driving practices in the pursuit of compelling footage.
What do you mean by formal
In
training, though?
2021, this lawsuit was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount, bringing closure to a horrible period for all parties
Most
involved.
chasers are out there on
This
experience,
incident
to be
serves as a
completely
sobering
honest with you.
reminder of the truly fine line between capturing the excitement
Not
of
everybody
extreme
has their
weather
meteorology
and
degree.
responsibility to safeguard human life. The
It's
pursuit
just
of the
really
storm,
sad all around.
no
It's just
matter
an
how
unfortunate
epic the
situation.
footage is, should never cost you your life.
Yep, it doesn't matter how epic that tornado footage is. Okay, here's the last one.
The CrossFit Games, held annually within the USA, are the ultimate test of fitness. Spanning 5 days, the Games challenge the competitors across a wide variety of fitness domains, including strength, endurance, speed, and agility. Each day of the competition is packed with multiple events designed to push athletes to their absolute limits, both physically and mentally. At the end of these grueling days, the winners are crowned as the fittest on earth, earning not only this prestigious title, but also a substantial cash prize and sponsorship deals. The 2024 Games, held in Fort Worth, Texas, were no exception.
Fort Worth!
But amidst the intense challenges, an unforeseen tragedy unfolded, one that would forever change the event and the lives of all those who
Uh-oh,
witnessed
this
it.
feels very Final
On August the 8th,
Destination to me.
2024, it was time
Final
for the Games to
Destination.
begin.
Streamed.
By early morning,
Can't talk
the
today.
temperature had already reached a scorching 100 degrees Fahrenheit,
Woo!
or around 37.7 degrees Celsius. At 7 a.m., the first of 3 events for the day was set to start. It was a triathlon-style challenge specifically designed to test the athlete's endurance and grit. This event began with a 3.5-mile run, followed by an 800-meter swim in the warm waters of Marine Creek
Oh my
Reservoir
God.
before a break to the next event. That first day was planned to finish with intense weightlifting at 5:30 p.m. This first day was not a challenge for the faint of heart. It was literally designed to separate the good from the great. Among the competitors that year was Lazar Dukic. Lazar was a 28-year-old Serbian athlete known for his incredible dedication and resilience. He'd earned respect in the CrossFit community, not just for his physical prowess, but for his amazing character, his kindness, not to mention his unwavering commitment to pushing himself and
Sorry,
supporting
guys. I
athletes
get
around
really.
him.
If there's too
So,
much,
as
like,
the clock ticked past 7 a.m. on
information, I
August the 8th,
start to check
all the
out a little
athletes
bit.
anxiously gathered at the starting line. The sun was already blazing, as I said, was causing competitors to begin to worry about the grueling run and then the swim. Lazar, with his trademark focus, took a deep breath and set off as the starting horn blared. Of course, the first step of the challenge was the run, and this was extremely demanding. Made even worse by
I
the
don't run
searing
anymore.
heat
I used to
bearing
run
down on
cross
the
country,
athletes.
but
Despite this,
no, I don't do
Lazar
that
kept
anymore.
a steady pace.
What?
But
What do you
by the
want?
time he
What's your
approached
problem?
The reservoir, he must have been absolutely exhausted. He jumped in and began the 800-meter swim. The stream shows the ending of the swim, showing the athletes reaching the end and completing the first event. And this is when you can see Lazar coming into the finish line. Now, the water that day was 87 degrees Fahrenheit, adding an unexpected layer of difficulty to the swim. The fatigue from the run, combined with the stifling heat of the water, slowly began to take its toll. Lazar, who had been moving strongly, started to show signs of strain. Shortly after 8 a.m., as he neared the final 100 meters of the swim, the mood among the spectators began to shift from excitement to serious concern. Some spectators noticed that Lazar's strokes had become uneven, his movements had become more laboured, and in a moment of visible distress, he removed his swim cap, meaning that he was possibly overheating while swimming. Spectators and fellow athletes
Why is
alike
no one helping
began
him?
shouting
Do
for
you guys
aid.
not have lifeguards
Their
that like
voices
know what to
filled
look
with
for?
urgency. Some athletes and spectators yelled to lifeguards that were stationed on paddleboards to help Lazar out the water as he was struggling.
Yeah,
But
somebody
their
help
response was
him!
shockingly slow. A concerned spectator even jumped into the water, noticing the severity of the situation, only to be turned away by one of the volunteers on the paddleboards. It soon became clear to everyone that these volunteers were not equipped to handle such a crisis.
Yeah, very clearly.
As Lazar continued to struggle, they searched in the water, and Lazar was nowhere to be seen, so the lifeguard returned to his original spot. Absolutely ridiculous. The scene was
That's
truly
negligent.
heartbreaking. Under the water, Lazar's life hung in the balance, yet the proper help was nowhere to be found. By the time the alarm was fully raised at around 8:25 a.m., it was already far too late. The search for Lazar ramped up quickly, but at 9:20 a.m., his body was recovered from the water.
That's sad.
He was dead. The athletes, spectators, as well as the organisers were left in shock. The excitement of the competition was replaced by a profound sense of terrible grief. Now, this whole tragedy unfolded within just hours of the game's beginning, raising serious questions about the adequacy of safety measures in place. It turns out there was only 5 water personnel overseeing the 79 athletes that day, and there were only 2 stationed near the end on paddleboards where Lazar drowned. It was clear that the event had failed in its most basic duty to protect the lives of its participants.
Yeah, no
Lazar's
joke.
death has sparked widespread outrage and a call for change in
1995?
the
He was so
CrossFit
young.
community. The events on August the 8th were cancelled, but on August the 9th, after a small tribute to Lazar, the games continued like nothing happened. As his brother Luca later reflected, Lazar wasn't just an athlete, he was a fighter and a friend. Someone who always brought out the best in others.
Aw,
And
he
losing
looked
him
like a
like
nice
this is just
guy. He had a
unimaginable.
nice smile.
I hear that the athletes sign away their rights to sue when entering, but I hear these often do not cover negligence. So whether or not
was
lawsuits will
definitely
arise,
negligent.
only time will tell. This tragic event serves as a powerful reminder that even the strongest athletes, even the most resilient people among us, are still vulnerable without proper safeguards. The hope now is that Lazar's death will lead
true.
to significant changes within the CrossFit Games to ensure that athletes do not pay the ultimate price in the pursuit of greatness.
That's sad.
But that is the end of the video. Good golly, this one was tragic. Lazar
Yeah,
and
that
the
was
rest of the
sad.
people featured. Rest in peace. Now, these
R.I.P.
streams
everybody.
genuinely gave me a nightmare, especially in New Orleans, falling into the oven after a heart attack. It really
Yeah,
makes you think
that's
any day
horrific. That's
could be a
really,
last.
really awful.
Mia, who hopped in a car with someone who was extremely drunk. That story is crazy. It's obvious to say that both of them should have never gotten in the car. I don't need to tell you guys that drink driving is wrong, but the blame rests solely on the driver.
Don't drink and
His mistakes
drive.
cost both of them their lives. The streamer who drank
Dummy.
2 liters of wine with antibiotics is just absolutely wild.
See, I
And
thought
what do I
the
even say about
antibiotic,
this?
like alcohol just made
Obviously, don't
antibiotics
ever
not
try
work,
this.
but
And if you find yourself ever watching a stream such as this, don't encourage it. The tornado chasers that skipped that red
don't
spotlight.
encourage things like that. I
Sadly
see
paid the
people in
ultimate
comments
price.
all the
I
time.
know
Someone's
you're
on
in the
live and
middle
they're
of the storm,
clearly in psychosis,
chasing
and
a
people are
possible
like, "It's a
tornado.
demon. You need to pray."
The
I'm like,
safety
maybe
really should
someone
have
get
been
the
their
mental
top
health
priority.
help.
And talking about safety being the top priority, the CrossFit Games. Where was the safety here? Was this not foreseen? They only had a handful of lifeguards for the 89 participants. The fact
That's
that the CrossFit
not
Games
enough.
continued the very next day after a very brief tribute, as if nothing happened, is a little bit bizarre, but I guess the show must go on. It seems that this was an accident waiting to happen. But, most importantly, what did you think of this one? As always, I read every single comment, so do let me know what you thought in the comments below. But, just before I go, if you look down there and you're not subscribed, be sure to click that subscribe button now, and remember to tickle that
was a
notification
sad
bell
one.
to be
It was
alerted
sad.
when I release content such as this.
Well, that's all I
will
have
see
for
you guys
today.
in the next
I
one.
don't have much more to say
Bye-bye.
about that. YouTube's getting a little out of control with the ads. I am going to say that. Also, has anyone else noticed straight up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, corn on, like, some of their suggestions for lives and stuff on YouTube. I'm like, what is this and how did this get on my algorithm? Like, weird. It's getting a little weird. Things are getting a little weird out here, right, Eggie? You need to kill that spider. Because I'm really stressed about it. I literally am so stressed. I literally am like, oh my God, where is it? It was a wolf spider, so I'm gonna go hide in my room. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Okay, love you, bye.